Coming up on this edition of Hoosier Sports Night, the Hoosiers went the distance with Michigan. Could they pull off an upset at the Big House? We've got the highlights.
Also, the IU volleyball team opened Big Ten play this past weekend against a pair of ranked opponents. Could they spike the competition from the state of Michigan?
Coach Tom Crean spoke to the student body about the expectations for this upcoming basketball season. We have full coverage of the speech and everything else that is IU on this episode of Hoosier Sports Night.
Benson alongside Lucas Mayer. We've got a full show from field hockey to the big game at Michigan.
We got it all covered tonight, Rachel. Indiana went into Ann Arbor this weekend to play the 23rd ranked team in the nation, and most people expected a blowout. The Hoosiers, however, came into the game with a different mentality. They wanted to show the Wolverines that they were not the pushover team that played last season. Let's check out the action and see if the Hoosiers could pull off the major upset and win in the Big House for the first time since 1967. Here we go, the Big House. Bill Lynch against Rich Rodriguez in the first quarter. Mitchell Evans at quarterback in the pistol, fakes the end around. There's Tandon Doss running down the sidelines into the end zone. And wait a sec, IU has the lead. Back to reality. Here's Tate Forcier with a quick out to Carlos Brown, who magically turns into the Flash, going upfield 40, 30, 20, 10. This is going to be a touchdown. That's going to tie the game at 7. After another Michigan score, Ben Chappell's in the pistol, but this time he's going to step up, look downfield. There's Tandon Doss waiting. Big catch. Tandon Doss finishes with 104 yards. Darius Willis finished that drive with a touchdown, followed by Indiana stalling in the red zone. Now Tate Forcier scrambling, running, tripping, falling, throwing it up. That is an interception. Nicholas Sliger and the Indiana Hoosiers are making this one a game. To the second half, Indiana leading 23-21. Chappell fakes a run, looking, zips it. That's Max Dedman. But once again, the drive stalls in the red zone. Field goal for Indiana. Michigan in the red zone now. Here's Tate Forcier. He wants to get into that end zone. Up and over. Michigan doesn't stall in the red zone. They score and they lead it 29-26. First play of the next drive. Darius Willis. He goes past the defenders. He's going down the field. And this is going to be a touchdown for the Indiana Hoosiers. They quiet the Big House. Silence in Michigan. Next drive. Michigan at the IU 28. Forcier drops back, has time, looks in the end zone. He finds Martavius Odom. Just like that, Michigan fans going crazy. They're up 36-33, barely over 2 minutes. Chappell in the shotgun. He's got Belcher. That's a catch. Wait, Michigan's saying they have the ball. The rest say they have the ball. What's going on? That's an interception. Bill Lynch can't believe it. He thinks he's going to throw his gum. Yes, there you go. Throws his gum. And after review, this one is ruled an interception despite the fact it looked like simultaneous possession. Bill Lynch can't believe it. Indiana is going to go on to lose a heartbreaker, 36-33. Let's head over to the Big House with Kate Senne for more.
What do you look for when you come to a football game? Big plays, big hits, and last-minute mayhem, right? Well, this IU-Michigan football game had it all. But for Hoosier fans, one thing it had a little too much of were missed opportunities. Indiana came into Ann Arbor a 21-point underdog and without a win in the Big House since 1977. But on the opening drive, IU looked like a well-oiled machine, stringing together 11 plays for 80 yards and a touchdown. The Hoosiers were without a third down conversion and converted a fourth down to keep the drive going. In fact, IU would not convert a third down the entire first half and finish the game just 3 of 15.
We got to capitalize on third. We got to capitalize more on third and short, more with the quick passes and stuff, and driving. But we're going to work on that.
Picking up those third downs proved to be more of an issue in the red zone. Early in the second, Indiana faced a first down from the Michigan 13 and were forced to settle for a Freeland field goal. Later in the second, after Nick Sliger intercepted a Tate Forcier pass, IU had first and goal from the 3-yard line, but once again were unable to convert and opted to kick a field goal. IU finished the game 5 for 5 in the red zone, but 4 of those times came away with 3 points instead of 7.
We didn't capitalize on red zone opportunities, which we need to work on a lot. Can't set up field goals every time, so something we got to work on.
Sliger's interception, along with the Michigan fumble recovered by IU's Jamie Curlew, helped IU win the turnover battle. But unable to capitalize once again, IU called upon Freeland and settled for just 6 points off turnovers for the game.
It's too bad, you know, when you get turnovers, if you really like to convert those into touchdowns.
Those 2 turnovers may look great on paper, but take into account the 4 fumbled snaps between Michigan center David Moosman and the quarterback, all of which the defense failed to recover.
Well, you know, we're always, as a defense, we always want to create turnovers and eliminate big plays, but, you know, when the ball's on the ground, we're always running to it, and sometimes, you know, you just don't get there fast enough.
Late game opportunities came when Chappell threw deep passes to Turner on the sideline and Belcher in the end zone, but came away empty both times. IU looked once again to Freeland to split the uprights and put them up by 8, but Freeland pushed a 42-yarder left, his only miss of the game, keeping Michigan's hopes alive. One of the most controversial calls of the game followed with IU down 3 late in the 4th. Chappell's pass intended for Belcher was ruled an interception, but the replay shows both players with possession as they hit the ground. However, the ball went back to Michigan, sealing the victory for the Wolverines.
I couldn't see. I mean, it obviously, where I'm standing on the sideline, looked like they both had it, but that's as far as I could go.
While you may argue that that play was the difference maker, it can also be argued that poor execution was an even bigger factor, as IU let what could have been one of the biggest wins in school history slip away 33-36. Indiana welcomes perennial powerhouse Ohio State to town next week, and the Hoosiers will have to capitalize if they expect to win. From the Big House, I'm Kate Senne, Hoosier Sports Nite.
For the Hoosiers, Darius Willis led all rushers with a total of 152 yards and 2 touchdowns on only 16 carries. Michigan's Carlos Brown also had a big day, totaling 144 yards of offense and scoring 2 touchdowns. Ben Chappell continued his solid season behind center, completing 21 passes out of 38 for 270 yards and that controversial interception. All in all, the Hoosiers put up 467 yards of total offense, their most ever against Michigan. Here's Josh Greenberg with more on the prolific unit.
Tate Forcier of Michigan was receiving a lot of praise coming into his game versus Indiana, but it was a trio of Hoosiers who, at least for the day, stole the spotlight. Ben Chappell completed nearly twice as many passes as Tate Forcier and compiled 270 yards through the air compared to Forcier's 184.
You know, offensively, we moved the ball on him at almost 500 yards. You know, moved the ball really well.
You know, I think Ben's really, you know, I think he's played well all season. You know, I mean, you can always look back at a play here or play there, but I think what he's doing, he's really taking care of the ball.
Yes, Ben is our leader. He's our captain, and offensive line is our leader too. It's really it's a togetherness in the offense. So, you know, but Ben is our leader.
Meanwhile, redshirt freshman running back Darius Willis rushed for 152 yards and 2 scores, one of which was an 85-yard romp to the end zone.
I was thinking touchdown in my mind. You know. That was bounce stuff was the play I've been thinking about all week, and offensive line, he did a good job pulling, and once I saw the green, it was time to go.
I felt like he was going to have a breakout game at some point, you know, because he's a very, very good player, and he's, you know, finally healthy, and he's been healthy for a couple weeks, so certainly he made some nice runs, but the long one certainly showed his ability to, you know, break the big one too.
Darius played great. He played the way we knew he could, so we're going to expect that every week now.
Chappell's favorite target of the game was Tandon Doss. He brought a dual threat with 104 yards receiving and 41 yards rushing.
Yeah, we're not going to back down from anybody. Don't care who you are, so we're coming at you and we're hitting you in the mouth every time. So,
with each game, there seems to be a new emerging talent for the Hoosiers, and surely Coach Bill Lynch hopes the performances keep coming. In Michigan, I'm Josh Greenberg, Hoosier Sports Nite.
Coming up, we continue our coverage from the close loss at Michigan as we take a look at the early success of kicker Nick Freeland.
Also, the IU volleyball team opened up conference play against a pair of ranked foes. See how they fared coming up on Hoosier Sports Night.